It's fucking over. It's finally done. Historic domination. Oh my fucking god. So let me tell you how much of it. This should have been done days ago, but I actually had tests this week. But let me tell you how much of a fucking... Is it just me, or was domination way harder this year? And the rewards, I love it for historic domination that you can pull emeralds on way better pulls. I don't know why, but this fucking dynamic duo to me is gold. Seth, the little shitty brother, is like, he's not good enough to be with Steph, so you know, he's just with the old man, the old version of dad on the fucking Raptors. But looking back at it completely, I did pull a good amount of emeralds. The only thing that annoyed me was that because I finished later than everybody else, or most people, that most of these emeralds didn't really go for as much as they did. So I didn't really make as much MT as I wanted, and even though I got a lot of emerald pulls, the emerald pulls I got weren't really like popular or good people like the Crawford or the T-Mac or the JR. So I didn't really make as much as I wanted to, but at least I got decent pulls to be able to say I didn't just get all golds, because for about the first 9 games in, I literally got all golds. It wasn't until about the 10th game that everything just started just picking up and I started getting emeralds, but shitty emeralds albeit. From what I've heard from most people though, the luck for pulling emeralds in historic domination was pretty good all around, and that is what I appreciate about the mode in general now. That if you really do finish early, you're going to make a shit ton of MT by just being the first person to have these cards and being able to sell them. And truthfully, I think the people who have finished domination already, both halves of it, are the people with the best teams in my team right now. I don't care how much fucking money you've probably spent on packs even to get those diamond players. If you finished all of domination, sold everything, and got your reward players, you're going to have an amethyst, you're going to have a diamond, you're going to probably have some sapphire collections done, and I'm sure you probably made enough MT to probably be able to buy a couple more people. But it's amazing to see that you're incentivized to actually play the game to have the best teams, and you can't complain with that. The fuck I want to know though is, when I was opening up this Blazers pack, who in the fucking fuck is this? Fucking gave me an 83 overall created character that you find at the end of the roster. But be sure to let me know in the comments who your actual best pull was, like who you sold for the most MT, because I think the best ones probably would have been who, T-Mac, JR, and maybe Jamal Crawford, if that's just emeralds you're counting. Some Manute Bowl, if the height cheese is still kind of a thing that people search for. I don't even know if that's a thing anymore. Other than the Sapphire players I pulled towards the end, my best emerald pull was probably it, or it would have been Jason Williams. And I would have loved that if I did fucking finish the game earlier, but I finished it later, and that was after the day of Throwback Thursday, which was yesterday on Friday. I was salty as shit that those Heat throwback packs completely cock-blocked how much MT I could have got. That was like easy 20,000. Easy. I know he's worth maybe 2. The only qualm that I had with these packs is that I just pulled, I think 2 or 3 times I pulled the same player out of like a different team pack, because when you get a pack, you're able to pull anyone, I think Ruby and Dawn, from that team's historic collection. So I pulled the same person, I think 2 or 3 times. I got 2 Mario Ellies, 2 Wilson Chandlers, and 2 other fuckboys that I don't remember because I hated the fact that like there, right fucking there. So that did definitely hold back my greatness as far as who I could have pulled from what pack I'd probably been able to earn more MT. Bogart was actually one of the better pulls that I'd get towards the end, because he was still worth a decent amount. He's one of the better emerald centers in the game right now, I think. He was worth, I think, I got about 7,000 for him, so that was something at this point. Here comes the second fucking Wilson Chandler, who has just been the Nuggets bottom bitch ever since he left the Knicks. I don't even care that's the Knicks card. I don't want you twice. You fucked me up. If I wasn't broke as shit, this is one of the dynamic duo cards or reward cards that I would have kept for the dynamic duo, because I'm curious to see what DeBuscher would look like with that duo. With that 87 overall and a dynamic duo boost, he could definitely go to near Amethyst 90, and then that Ainge could have probably went Sapphire. Those stats, dynamic duos really do influence who could be on your team and who's viable to use, yo. I love that. There goes the Jason Williams, fucking 2K. Now, before I move on to my all-star packs and my reward packs, I would like to give a special shout out to this glorious mustache bastard, James Edwards. He's the reward card when you get 450 cards, and he may have single-handedly took me through domination. If you watch my guy, you know how big the post is. I called this motherfucker the Black Dirk. No joke, his post moves carried me through domination, got me those extra points toward the last few games, because it does get cheesy. Domination is definitely harder this year. Eastern pack, I pulled Sapphire Tayshaun Prince, who was worth a decent amount of MT. I haven't sold him yet, but he's still one of the rare Sapphires. And then I pulled Chris Kaman out of the Western pack, and he was still worth like 7,000 at the time. T All-Stars pack, all I wanted was somebody sellable, please. Yep, fuck this game, but that was all of my packs. This is the diamond pack screen that you get to when you beat the mode. Gail Goodrich, George Mike, and Jerry Lucas, Tony Parker, David Thompson, and Ben Wallace. I had such a conundrum. look at this glorious motherfucking afro. Now let me give you the reasoning why I chose Afro Samurai Big Ben Wallace, because a lot of people going to go with David Thompson or Tony Parker. I chose him because you're not going to find many centers in the game that has his athleticism until you get to maybe Bill Russell that has his athleticism and defensive stats. As the year goes on, you're going to find more point guards and more wing players that are just as good and might be more fun. Tony Parker would probably easily get replaced if a new Steph or a Dame Lillard card comes out, but when will you find these fucking stats on a defensive center that is so... Look at this shit! Speed with ball. He has a lateral quickness of like a 90. You will not find this, and this almost defeats the purpose of me needing Bill Russell. So this was definitely the pick that would have lasted the longest. And just as a note, this Emerald JR is a must-have pickup. Definitely, I think he's better than the T-Mac. Probably the best Emerald card in the game right now. But with that being said, Domination is done. What's next? Y'all want me to jump into my team online?